Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to this class about how to fundamentally free yourself, how to go to the root and alchemize all these things laying in the way of your truth from the root. So, for example, limiting beliefs, old patterns, fears, programming. There's a bunch of things that I'm sure you know. You know you carry a lot of stuff. It's like a backpack that you're carrying filled with things that is putting sticks in your own wheels, you know? So this is for you who's ready to really go to the root of that, who wants to understand the mechanism of your own liberation, and who wants to awaken your deep, authentic joy from within and embody your limitless true potential in this life. It's available for you, it's possible for you, but you need to know how to do it. And that's why this video is here. So if you're done playing small, allowing a small, limited, personal, scared, insecure, self run the show and ready to embody your truth, then I'm so excited that you're here. Then you're at the right place. Okay, so I call it merge with your soul because that is basically what it's about, to get out of the way so that our soul can express itself through us, so that we naturally come into alignment with the one that we're here to be. It's a really, really powerful journey to embark upon, and I'm sure you're already on the journey. So the intention with this video is to just clarify. So I will explain, I will show you some diagrams, and hopefully after you watch this, you will have a lot more clarity and a lot more direction with how you can work with yourself in your day-to-day life. Okay, so we will go to the root cause of all your problems. So that's what we will begin with. We will begin exploring why you keep getting stuck and how to stop that endless cycle. We will explore the inner purification and alchemy process, so the key that sets you free. And then in the end, we will do an activation sequence of your fullest expression as a soul. So it will be a powerful journey. So put on your seatbelts, or actually take off your seatbelts, and enjoy the journey. Relax and enjoy. All right. So here we begin. The opening and closing cycle. This is, in essence, what keeps you stuck. So here we have an arrow where it says life comes in. So life is coming in, right? Life is always moving. Life is in a constant flow. And this gray box, this is basically your personal self, your egoic construction, your conceptual self, you can call it. The one that you call you, like when you say me, me, little me. And little me has all kinds of preferences, right? So life is coming in and it's coming through this filter with preferences. So with likes and with dislikes, with ideas and beliefs and, dreams, with fears, patterns. So life is coming in through this filter, and if life matches your model that you created, like this is how I want things to be. So you have a model in your head explaining how life should be in order for you to be happy and in order for you to avoid pain, basically, to avoid discomfort. You want it to be in a certain way, and it makes sense. Like you want to be, you want to feel good, right? And life comes, and if life matches this model, then gling, like a green card, like yes, you can come through, life can come through, and then life is flowing through you. You're open. So your being is open. So life is allowed to pass through you. And when we're open, that is when healing happens. That is when we feel a sense of flow, a flow of inspiration, a flow of joy, a flow of, synchronicity. So it's like you are in alignment and you feel uplifted, you feel engaged, you feel enthusiastic about things, right? You're there sometimes. And that is when life is matching your model. The problem is that actually more often than not, life is not matching this model. So, because life is huge, right? It's like infinite, it's vast. There's endless possibilities that can happen. So very often it's not matching your model, and then you say, "Meh, no, you're not allowed to come through," and then you're resisting. You say, "No, life should be different. It should not be like this," and you're resisting the experience. And what happens? You close down, like you are stopping the energy to come through. The energy gets stuck. So life keeps on moving, but you have kind of got stuck in time in a way, because so how does that say? So okay, so this experience are not fully allowed to come through. It gets stuck in your system. And what happens? Yeah, so you see this dotted arrow here. So this stuck energy is coming into your personal self. It gets stored inside of you. And that is why you have so much stuff that is unprocessed in your system. That is why life gets so complex and complicated, because you have all of these things. I will show a different graph that will describe this even better. A picture here. So what happens? Life is flowing here. And if it doesn't match, you're closing down. You're resisting. And no, you cannot come through. So the energy gets stuck here. It just circles around. Energy wants to move. Energy don't want to be stuck. But you're not allowing it to. So it gets stuck, and thereby it becomes like rocks. So this stagnated energy becomes like rocks in your energy field, in your river of life. So the river of life needs to pass through all of these boulders and rocks, and dams that you're built, like you're building dams because like you're trying to make life in a different way, because you have decided it should be like this, it should not be like this, and thereby you're building a dam, kind of controlling the water to go in the direction that you want. And that takes a lot of energy, doesn't it? And that is what we're doing all the time. Whew. From the first morning, the mind kicks in. You start to think, okay, what can I do today to avoid this happening again? This that I was afraid of, like this that happened when I was a child. I don't want to feel that pain again. I don't want to get abandoned again. And thereby, I'm trying to figure out, what can I do? What can I say to my partner in order for him not to leave me, or she not to leave me? It's like from the first moment of our days, this control mechanism kicks in, and we are trying to control life, and that takes so much energy. Like it takes so much energy to resist this energy flow. You can imagine, like life is coming, we're like, no, it's like it's heavy, right? And ultimately it will not work, because do you know why? This energy that you have stored, these rocks, they don't want to be there. Like life wants you to be free of these things, and thereby every chance it gets, like something happens, someone says something, and then suddenly you feel like this triggered, like something gets triggered in you that is old. In Sanskrit it's called samskara. It's like old energetic patterns inside of you that gets activated, and then you feel this pain again that you couldn't handle as a child. So you're feeling this pain again, and And it's because this pain wants to leave. It doesn't want to be there anymore. So if you would just allow it to, if you would just, okay, yeah, you're allowed to be there, then you would free yourself from it. Then it will pass. Then you would be a lighter being without this. But what usually happens is that it comes up and you're like, no, 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 and you close down again. You try to fix it, you try to change the situation, you try to avoid feeling yourself. You're going into a lot of, like hiding mechanisms, the protection mechanisms. Like your whole system kind of is doing everything it can not to feel this, and thereby you just push it back down again. So this is the endless loop that you're in if you're unconscious about this. And most people are just living here, just trying to stay afloat, trying to to get through the day, or like it's a very conditioned way of living, right? Conditions need to be perfect in order for me to be open, happy, free, like feel like expansion. Things need to be perfect, perfectly connected to my model. But it basically just happens by itself. So this happens very subconsciously. This is the thing. But just to give you a picture, it's possible. So how would it be if this wouldn't be here? If you would remove yourself from yourself, and if and then if life would come, if you wouldn't have any preference, if you're like, yeah, I prefer everything, instead of I prefer this, I prefer everything. I'm opening up. Okay, life is allowed to move through. Okay, if patterns are happening, we're like, no, these patterns are not me. I am pure awareness. I am not this person. I'm not this character that I'm playing in this life, because I have been here way before. I was here, at the big bang. Like I've been here like I am eternal. I'm an eternal being. And that is the truth of who we are. But we forget and we shrink into this little me. But it's possible to work with ourselves, to remove ourselves from it all. And then life is allowed to pass through, and we're open. And regardless of what is happening, you are okay. You are free. You are connected to truth. You're not disconnected. That is what happens. When you close down, you disconnect from yourself. You disconnect from life. You disconnect from the present moment. So I'm sure you know this. Like when you feel closed, it's like it's very, very tricky to be present, because the mind is so active, because you know because you're somewhere else. You're in the future trying to come up with what to say in order not to get hurt again, or you're in the past trying to work with what you said yesterday to this person, and it is like fear of like something will happen, that something will happen again. And it's like we are not here. When we're closed, we are not here. So I see it like the portal to presence is to be open. When we're open, we can be here fully. We can fully engage with life. We can fully engage, with whatever is in front of us. Be there fully with the people around us. And another aspect of this is like if me is not here, if the little me with all its needs and so on, if that will not be here, then then I can be in full service, because I don't need anyone to do anything. I don't need to get anything from anyone, because I know I'm complete inside of me. So that is what it's about, like to embody the knowing, embody the truth that you are complete in every moment. There is nothing that you need. Nothing needs to change in order for you to be, to feel bliss pouring through your being, like to feel this deep sense of peace, regardless of what is happening. It can be stormy outside. Everything is going like crazy, but you can remain centered to your truth. I call it soul bliss because this is how it feels for me when I'm open like this. That happens already when you clear away just a little bit of this. Things are starting to flow. Things are starting to happen in your life. Like you are connected to the magic of life. Suddenly you see life. Like, wow, what a miracle! I am here. Life is a miracle. Wow, we can really start to take in life, and that happened for me. After I've been working with myself for many years, but it came a point when I realized I am a mess. I am a mess as a father. I cannot be present with my daughter because I'm so busy here. I'm trying to be somewhere else. I have so much resistance towards the moment, so I cannot be there with her. I couldn't be there with my partner. I was a mess as a business owner. It's like I had depression, I had anxiety reappearing again. I've been feeling that throughout my life. And that was still, it was kind of cycling. These old energies were just cycling inside, and I was burning out for the third time, and I realized, like, no, I need to go to the root of this. I cannot allow this to continue. So I started working with myself, and I started using every moment of every day as an opportunity to liberate myself from myself. And around, 4 months in, day by day, consciously working with the energies, consciously letting go, liberating myself, alchemizing the stuff laying there, I started to feel this stream of bliss coming from, like almost my belly button, a little bit above. It's like flowing. And I was like, wow, this is powerful. This is powerful. And I was curious. I was like, okay, how long will this last? And it just kept on going for days and days and weeks. And then sometimes an old samskara came up, or fear came up, things came up and was blocking this light. But that light is the truth of who you are. That is the sun that is behind the clouds. It's always shining there. It's always there. The reason why you're not feeling this bliss and this pure connection to source all the time is because of all these things that lays in the way, and because of the beliefs and ideas and these concepts and this conceptual self that lays in the way. And that is what we're working on, in my mentorship. This is what we're doing in, every moment of every day. You're still doing what you do. You do life. You have kids that you take care of. You go to work. You're taking care of your home. You're doing what you do. But underneath it all, you're using every experience as rocket fuel for your spiritual awakening, for your spiritual liberation. Because when you're connected to source in this way, like you're just there, and your soul can express itself through you. Like you're just aligned. Your alignment happens all by itself. Yeah, so this is why I'm so passionate about this, is because it's such a deep resonance in me, and I'm passionate about holding others in this process of liberation. And I have a bunch of keys and so on. But here is for you to make it really clear, like you want to be open, you don't want to be closed. Contraction to expansion, stagnation to flow, disconnection, alignment, everything that you're looking for is here. But the problem is that you don't know how to be open. That is the problem. We don't know how to be open. We want to be open, but we don't know how. And there's a bunch of different keys. I see there's keys that opens us up. So let's see if there's something else here. Yeah, I think I covered this. I think you get the point. So now we come to the inner purification and alchemy process. the key that sets you free. So this is my way. Like, this is what I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the root of this. And I discovered that when I'm open, then it just happens by itself. I'm just liberating this stuff. Even if it's painful, even if it's whatever it is, like if I can just be open to the best of my ability, I will not succeed every time, but I'm doing my best. I put an intention, I commit myself towards this. I have a pole star in life. This is what I'm doing with my life. So everything I'm doing in my life is towards this because I want to liberate myself. So I call it being open AF, to be open as fuck, because that is what it means, right? If we could just be open, we naturally will come into alignment. Healing happens by itself. When we stop controlling our healing, when we're like, okay, I need to heal this, and like the little me is trying to heal something, then usually what happens, we're kind of just blocking the healing. But it is when we let go, surrender, that is when healing happens by itself, because our body wants to release the stones. Again, our body don't want to have stored energy, stagnated energy inside. Energy wants to move. Okay, so if we are just allowing it, then it happens. So that is the thing. But what happens when we fully tune into that, when we fully surrender? Like, it's really challenging to surrender. And why is that? It's because of fear. Because underneath it all, we are afraid to death. So this is a very important aspect of this. We are so afraid, and that is what driving our behaviors. That is what makes us say certain things, because we're afraid. What will he think about me? Uh, I don't want him to be angry at me, because then I get to feel all of this stuff when my father was angry at me when I was a child, and like we are so afraid. Like we are afraid of that there's fear of being unworthy, of not being loved, like, because maybe something happened. We were a child, and we by then we really believed that, okay, no one loves me because my parent went away in that moment, and my little being thought that this my mother doesn't love me, and then we have this inside of us, and then we're doing everything we can to make people love us, right? Because we want, so it's a little bit like the egoic construct, are manifesting situations where people don't like us, or doing something that reminds us of that I am unlovable, basically, so that we get to heal this, because life wants to heal this. But if we are resisting, if we are listening to our mind, allowing our mind to run the show. So if someone says something, it triggers a wound from the past, and if we are allowing our monkey mind to drive us, to be like, okay, if I say this, then maybe he will like me again, or if I do this, then I'm safe. Or when we're allowing our monkey mind to run our life, we are not allowing the wisdom, the intelligence of life to purify us. We are just pushing it back down again. So fear is a big one, and I could speak a lot about this. But these are different pieces that we work on in my mentorship program and in my group programs. It's like different keys. Like we need to work from different angles. But in essence, it's about being open. It's about aligning to truth. To aligning to the truth of who we are, aligning back to the moment, to alchemize the stones and the things, the fears laying in the way of my true connection to source. It's about free ourselves from, old patterns that doesn't serve us anymore, that keeps us living in our small separated selves, that is patterns of avoidance, like when we're avoiding to feel ourselves, when we're hiding from ourselves, when like so basically there's a lot of patterns that keeps us small. So if you want to go beyond that, you need to work with it and reprogram and free yourself from them. And so that is the essence. So open AF, open, align, alchemize, free yourselves from fear, from everything that lays in your way. And we are infinite. Like you are infinite potential. You're infinite potential. The only one who says that you're not is your egoic construct that tries to keep you safe. So you notice that when you are about to expand, when you're about to dive into new territory of life, when you're about to level up, what happens? Fear happens. Fear is kicking in. So that is basically our ego's way of fighting for your limitation. And it's your job to not allow that to drive you. So you're using your will. You can use your will. You can be disciplined in your surrendering process. Like I call it surrendered discipline, because it's not about us trying to fix something. It's about us, basically letting go, and that is a big one. That's a tricky one. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of fire, and it's very helpful to have someone holding you in that process. And that is what I do. So my special sauce is to really bring people down to the root of all of this. So to always like take it one step deeper. So that is what I do with my clients. Like, okay, so what is the root cause of this? And then we're alchemizing fears, for example, from the root. And it's very helpful because we cannot see our blind spots. It's not so easy to get the full picture when we're working with ourselves. It's very helpful to have someone from the outside mirroring you. And that is why this process is really like a spiritual acceleration process, because you get everything you need, all your tools, all the tools you need for your liberation process, for your path towards freedom. So I got that for you. Okay. So to end this, there's a little activation sequence. So you see here, I spoke about a little bit the pole star of your life. What is it that you truly want? What is it that your soul is longing for? Most people, we are down here. Even spiritual people, like we're so addicted, to the mind and to the character that we're playing. We're so addicted to it. We're so involved in it. So we lose ourselves. So the pure consciousness that we are is losing itself in the story. But who are you beyond the story? And what is your highest vision? Your highest soul aligned vision? What is it? So if you want, you can just close your eyes for a moment. Just connect to this moment right now, to your breath. What is it that you truly are longing for? If you think beyond a certain career, or that you want a certain relationship, you want this or that, like what is it that goes beyond? What is it that you want? Is it that you want to be free? Is it that you want to express yourself fully? Just be in alignment. What is it? Is it that you want to be in service of something higher? That you want to let go and allow something higher to work through you? Like tune into a life where you're embodying your limitless potential, where everything is possible. So what comes to you? What is your why? Maybe you want to just be, you want to experience life fully, enjoy life fully. So whatever it is, like, why not go for that? Why not go for that? And to use every moment of life towards that. That every step you take, whether if it's through parenting, through your work, through like social interactions, through whatever you do, like this is what it takes actually. Like if you really want to liberate yourself and set yourself free and go for your highest life that goes beyond this limited self, then you need to want to free yourself more than you want to satisfy your ego and this small self. That is what it takes. It's like it's a deep commitment, but it's possible. And I would love to support you going towards that vision, to live that life, to take the steps to alchemize the things laying in the way, to purify your being, for you to take steps towards that, because it's possible for you. And I've been helping people. For example, it was one client, she was really being held back by fear, but she knew she wanted to go for a Reiki business. She wanted to to offer her soul gifts to the world, but she was caught in her comfort zone and in her fears. And I helped her to go to the root of her fears, and we were alchemizing them. And what happened is, like, life force energy just were fountaining through her, and she was like, it was miraculous to see. And she quit her 9 to 5 job and she fully went for it. And it's like she's just flying. and and there's another woman who was really holding herself back, and she really wanted to, she tried to fit in all the time, trying to do the best she could all the time, that she kept small basically. And after we've been working together, now today she's just, once again, she's flying. She's like, she's so connected to her truth, and she's living from that place. She's expressing that through her voice. She's unapologetic with her truth. It's beautiful to see.